Yeah,
So,
for sure.
briefly, what is Coti?
So Coti is an enterprise grade layer one that is uniquely optimized to solve challenges around payments. We do that for enterprises. So we know we have our own unique technology. We are blockless blockchain. We're based on a graph, on a DAG, direct acyclic graph that brings a lot of scalability, instant settlements, security, etc. We have our own consensus called proof of trust, which is optimized to solve what we're doing and is more eco-friendly than proof of work. And we are regulation ready. So Coti is the only layer one out there that has done KYC to all of its native holders, and that helps, with future regulation and with our enterprise clients, obviously. And we're enterprise grade product, full stop. So that's Coti.
So from there, eventually you guys end up meeting, Charles from IOG and started developing Djed for the Cardano blockchain. How did that relationship come about? And then, really what is Djed and Shen, and how are they unique when it comes to algorithmically backed stablecoins?
Yeah, sure. So we have a long-lasting relationship with IOG and Cardano. I'd say it's about 4 years now, and we have developed AdaPay in the past, and now Djed. We were the first investment for C Fund, the ecosystem fund for Cardano. And again, we have great relationship, and we do a lot of work. And I would say, generally speaking, Coti and Cardano communities are very much aligned. So Djed is an over-collateralized stablecoin. So it's a stablecoin that keeps its peg at all costs. Normally, the ratio for over-collateralization is at least 4x, right? And then when it's below that, then you cannot mint any more Djed. And that helped Djed maintain its peg throughout, all the recent storms, everything from, USDC losing its peg, and some stablecoins on the Cardano ecosystem and whatnot. Throughout everything, Djed kept its peg, and we think this is the number one priority. Now, the only way to keep this stablecoin over-collateralized on one hand and being capital efficient on the other hand is by introducing a new token called Shen. So Shen is a token that you get when you supply extra collateral to the Djed smart contract. When you do that, you are rewarded with Shen, and when you hold Shen, you are entitled to most of the mint and burn fees that go into the system. So think of it as a community governed stablecoin where those who provide liquidity are the beneficiaries of whatever fees the system makes. Coti gets some operational fee that we later on distribute to Coti holders through our treasury system.
Awesome. So, you guys actually launched this very shortly after our podcast. I think it was a couple weeks later. How did
Yeah.
that launch meet your expectations? I've launched a few things on Cardano, and I'm usually surprised about how many people show up and how many people are engaged. How did the launch go for Coti and Djed and Shen?
So the launch was great, actually, and we had a lot of worries. It's complicated tech. The scalability can sometimes be off, and we really wanted to have a good launch. And I'm happy to say that we did it. It was the last day of January, and nothing broke or nothing serious broke, and a lot of liquidity was deposited. So everybody's is happy with that. And throughout time, liquidity grow. It's nearing 40 million ADA now, so we are capturing, I would say, about 10% of market share in Cardano's DeFi. We've integrated pretty much everywhere. I don't think there is any DEX or lending and borrowing platform or anything substantial in Cardano that doesn't incorporate Djed right now. And we're doing more. Whether it's buying NFTs on NMKR, or loans on Fluid tokens, lend, borrow, earn in Liquid, AIDA for borrowing, etc. So it's capturing both utility and on grow, and the liquidity itself continuously grow. And overall, we're super happy about Djed and the future of Djed.
Yeah, I mean, we're in really rocky times right now. So, Djed really did hold up through those times. And, we do get to those moments where it's not as rocky and it's much easier to garner a much higher TVL. Did the TVL after launch and to now meet your expectations at Coti? Were you guys expecting a little higher or a little lower?
It's pretty much where we thought it would be at this point, because to be realistic, there's the Cardano DeFi ecosystem still grows. So there is so much you can do with stablecoins, and I remind you that we are over collateralized. This is a thing that we need to remember. There can be a stablecoin that is not as safe as Djed, and you can mint far more Djeds using the same collateral. But but the risk is there. So what's the point, right? So we're very happy about that. Right now, one of the things we're working on right now is, and we're about to introduce, is I would say two big things. One is introducing more rewards and benefits to Shen holders. So at this point, we've taken care of Djed holders. And there's a lot of yield, that you can do, farming rewards, etc., on various dexes and lending and borrowing platforms. There needs to be more for Shen, and when we know that, and one step at a time. So Shen is now became a priority, and we're discussing with dexes and the platforms to introduce more rewards for Shen holders. And I'll get into let's talk about Shen right now. We've calculated how profitable it was to hold Shen, as a liquidity provider. So it goes as follows. First of all, you're getting the staking rewards. I would say roughly at about 4% delegating staking rewards. That's pretty good because you always had the alternative to just stake your ADA. So we wanted to kind of match with that. Other than that, when you're looking at the fees that you've collected as a Shen holders, those were about 10%. So 10% return in about 3 months. So when you think about this annually, it's about 40%. Now, this is a serious number. I don't know, a lot of things that you can do, a lot of strategies that you can have with ADA that will keep you pegged to ADA in many ways, like aligned with ADA without selling your ADA. On one hand, and that will yield about 40% on the other hand. So that was Shen until now. Other than that, there were some opportunities to farm rewards using Shen. So you could have made more, but not enough. So this is something we'll be focused on right now. Once we do that, I guess there will be more incentives. And then the system that sits at about 3.6x collateral right now will probably climb again, as it was naturally at that state for a very long time. There was one point where one of our partners have just offered an offer you can't refuse to those who use Djed as collateral, and everybody minted Djed, and there's just simply not enough Shen out there to back that up. So we'll do the same with Shen pretty soon. People can mint Shen at that point. Probably makes sense to do it right now for people because you want to be in the platform when it happens. So that's one big thing. The second big thing is branching out and using your ADA to mint Djed and Shen, then taking it to other chains. So we'll be introducing both Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum through a bridge. Once you do that, you can use your wrap Djed and other ecosystems. They had some head start with DeFi, and these ecosystems are bigger. But I do believe, and obviously there's USDC, USDT. Why do we need another stablecoin? Because it keeps its peg. This is a very, very important reason why you want to hold Djed and not another stablecoin. And using this very safe stablecoin in ecosystems where DeFi is very much developed, then that's an advantage. So that will grow the utility as well. So bigger rewards for Shen holders and extra utility coming from various chains. That's the plan moving forward.